Okay, as I stated, we burn up 20 gig of footage on that, so I lost some stuff here. But what we're doing now is we're going to install the tip weight box. I built this tip weight box. It's just a square box, and then I put 1/4 inch balsa all the way around. I put a cap in it, and that's all we have here is this cap. So now I've traced it out on this, and I'm cutting this away, and we're going to lift this out, just insert this in there and glue it. Not a big deal. Hopefully this will come out without a big problem. Of course, remember, it is glued to the foam, and we're probably going to have to excavate the spar. So let's cut it away and see what we got here. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. So the spar is right there. And take the spar out carefully. It's just the foam spar. And I already have this marked. I want it to go in this arrow forward. It's a little tight, so we trim it. Rather have it fit too tight than too loose. Take your time. Get a nice fit. Yep, beard's gotta go. Let's see here, I had a stick with some sandpaper on it. I also had this. Yeah, we got some sandpaper on this here. Try again. Almost. I mean, it's just so close. You just want it to slide in perfectly. You don't want to force it. Otherwise, the sheeting will push down. Want it very snug. But not force it. There we go. Almost. Seems like this corner right here is hung up. Cut the foam away here. I hope you all can see what I'm doing here. Got a little bit of a gap there, but we'll fill that with some CA, no big deal. Now I'm going to look down in there. Oh no, it's bottomed. Okay, we're in good shape. So what I want to do now is I want to take it back out, because I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of it. However, it's really not necessary. You might not be able to get it out. Yeah, you know what? It's not necessary. It's not going anywhere. So we'll take some CA and CA it in. Because once the covering's on it and the dope's on it, that also seals it in there. And we're going to put some here. It probably won't stay because it's a pretty good gap, but we'll have to let's fill it a little bit more. Keep working the dust in there. See, it's filling up with sawdust, and then we'll put some CA in there to harden it, and sand a little more. Wow, that's a big gap. So, let's try it, keep going. Get some dust down in there. Maybe I ought to put a piece of wood. So, what I'll do is, I'm going to sliver off a piece of wood and stick it in there. It's going to be very difficult to do. And if nothing else, you can always putty it. I think we need a little more aggressive sandpaper. How about some 80 grit? We'll try that. You gotta be careful though, you don't want to sand into scratches into the wing. I know, we'll put some tape on it. And 180. You want to sand that until you can't feel that line. That looks pretty good. So now we get our soft block 320. You can hear the sandpaper. It has stopped being aggressive on the high spots because there are no more high spots. And you can't feel it, it's gone. So we did our job. And that's how to install a wingtip weight box without any big to-do. We'll take it out, make sure it fits back in there good, and get the screw out. Of course, it'll be upside down sitting on the tarmac. Made it fit so good it's hard to get out. Might have to loosen that up a little. Anyway, that's how you you do a wingtip weight box. Make sure that you mark it with an arrow in direction so you know which way to go. Let's take a little bit off the side so it fits in and out a little better. Just dressed it up a little bit. Much better. I might make a dowel guide for that, you know. You know what, let's do that. If I can find one. Easy. And of course not. I have, is that a piece of dowel? Yep. Okay. I'm going to show you now how to make a small dowel guide. Take a piece of 3/8 dowel. We're going to cut about an inch of it off. And I'm going to drill a hole down through it. Then we're going to drill a little bit bigger hole and cut it back off. Yeah, that should be good. Take a 3/8 bit and put it in there. I'll show you the end result. It's too hard to keep moving the camera, so it may or may not work here. Okay, what I made here is a guide out of a piece of dowel for this bolt, because you never can get the darn bolt to start. It always wants to go goofy on you. So we put a little cone at the bottom. Something to capture it. Make sure that it's big enough. It is. Not quite square on there. That's alright, it should work. We'll just tack it in there and I'll test it, and then if it works we'll glue it in for good. Just doesn't want to sit down there very good. I'm not sure why. Oh, I see why. Let's take this washer off. Let's see what I'm doing. There's a piece stuck on the bottom that's causing this thing to wobble back and forth in there. So I guess the best thing to do would be take the grinder, grind that off. Much better. Most people would be scared to death to do that. But that's okay. So now what we have down in there is a cone glued on the bottom, right here, that will catch the bolt and guide it into the blind nut. We'll see how easy it is to work now. That's the trick. So, I've got the wingtip video uploading. We showed you the building of the blocks. I showed you the sheeting. We'll do the inboard wingtip next because it has a lead out guide in it. I'll show you how to build that one more time. But this panel right here is 100% perfect. So that's all you can hope for. There's no mistakes in it anywhere. It's dead nuts, laser straight. I'll give you a shot down the leading or trailing edge and show you how straight that is. It's got a little hoop in it. Pretty straight though. Might have to put a little steam on it. I doubt that'll do anything. It's, such a slight bow. It was straight. Oh well, must be the weather. Anyway, we'll be back in the short with more on building this, and if you follow along with me, you'll have a Thunderbolt by the time you're done. So, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm just working on the other side. I'm not going to give much commentary, but you're welcome to watch as I'm doing this. It's the same procedure that we did on the other one. So, pull up a chair, watch the video. Hope you're enjoying Control Line Craftsman. like that. As you can tell, it goes much faster when I'm just doing it. But we need to make a door now. That looks like it'll do it. So now I need a piece of wood that's this big, so we'll glue it on here. We're going to leave a little bit here. I've often been asked how I get such nice holes in the balsa, and I'm going to show you now. Okay. Okay, I will stop and show you what I'm doing here. Making the door here for this. And first thing we're going to do is I'm going to square it up on the disc sander. That's pretty good. We have to make some holes in that, and how I do that is with this piece of brass tube here. You take your X-Acto knife on a piece of brass tube and you just scythe the inside of the tube so it has a sharp edge on it. Then I look right straight down the center and size it up so it's right in the center of that hole, and push down as you turn it. And when it gets to the bottom, you can feel it. And pull it out, you got a perfect hole. One more time. Tubing, sided up in the center. Turn it as you're pushing down. You'll definitely feel it hit the bottom, the plywood. And then pull it out and you got a perfect hole. And that's how you make those super nice holes. So now we have to make sure this bolts on no problem. Little piece of scrap was down in the bottom. I have to open up that hole a little bit, it's just not quite the right size. Take a little more off this edge here. Okay, but we've run into another problem. I've got too much on the back side, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to scab on a piece, which is not a big deal. I'll make sure that it fits nicely though. Sounds like we got a fire out there somewhere. In order to make a really nice model, you want all this stuff to fit perfect. So, the next trick is to scab on a piece of wood on the side of that. It's a nice thing about balsa wood, it's very forgiving. So, Now only you, the viewer, knows that we had a mistake there, because guaranteed when it's finished you won't be able to see. Beautiful. Tell now, really. So that fits perfect now. Now we replace the screws, and then we're going to carve and sand it to shape. I know I said I wasn't going to talk, but you might as well know what I'm doing here. And I don't want to get in there. What the heck's the problem? Tinkering. Take a little bit off that. Okay, after all that tinkering, I finally got it in there where I'm satisfied. We might add a little piece there. It's about 32nd out. Really need a long blade. I think I'm going to go ahead and set the bell crank up tonight. Didn't get any painting done today. I'm gonna have to do it. I gotta get that one airplane done by the end of the month here. I know what I'll do with this video. I'm going to make this one available to the public. If you want to see how this is actually done from start to finish, you have to sign up for Control Line Craftsman, and I explain everything. And that turned out very nice. Not a whole lot of time to do it either. So, we'll see you in a short.